Hi Flosstube, this is Joan from Made by Mama Joan. Today is August 8th and I'm going to try to get through Flosstube. I gathered up, I'm a little late as usual with things that are going on. But I dragged out my Blackbird Designs collection. I'm going to try to do this in some kind of organized way. I doubt that that'll happen because I have all of my books that I have unearthed a lot of stuff. My frame pieces, I have a lot of smalls. I'll try to equate them with a book. I'm not going to guarantee that. I'm sure I have the book, but I may not be able to find it as I'm looking through all of these. Going through all of this, so you just have to bear with me. The first thing I wanted to talk about here is I only have one of their quilt books, I believe, at least one that I unearthed. This one is the one I have. And one of the main reasons I have this one is I had stitched the model because it's a quilt book, but there was a cross-stitch sampler in here, and I had stitched this sampler. So I was the model stitcher for this particular sampler. And I pulled that one out. So I stitched the model for Blackbird, and then I liked it. I liked it so much. I did stitch the sampler. Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing what the heck I'm doing. I stitched the sampler myself. And this, I believe this was a frame I had found at a thrift store. So here's the sampler from this quilt book, which Weekend Quilts and Projects. And with that, there was a couple projects. So here's the back of the book. So I did this sampler. I also did this book and this pillow. Okay, I can't get used to this going backwards. So here's my little pin cushion made out of, this was blueberry crumb cake fabric. So there was my pin cushion I did, and here's the box I did. It has some trinkets in it. I put a quilted piece on the lid, and then there's a piece of, it's going to be hard to show this, sampler fabric on the bottom. So this has some trinkets in it. In fact, I just unearthed this. I'm unearthing a lot of things. You know, if you've been following me long enough, we built a new house and we finally fully moved in like a year ago. And then shortly after that, I'll just give you a brief synopsis of things. So we had our stuff packed up for about 2 years from our old house because we'd built this pole shed or a shop, and so we had our things stored in there. And so now we're just kind of unearthing, bringing things in, and my stitching things. A lot of my stitched pieces are finally making their way into the house. So that's one of the other reasons that I decided I would do this video, because I was unearthing all of my stitched Blackbird design pieces that I'm going to try to get hung around my house. So there's the very first, well, it's not the very first book I've had, but what I'm showing you today. I was trying to coordinate books with the cross-stitch pieces. I'm not sure how well I'm going to do with that. Now that I'm looking around, I see there's something from this book, and I'm not sure where that piece is, this next book that I've got unearthed. Oh, I think I did find it. Another book I had, I bought this book, The Christmas Garden. I bought this when it first came out. So one of the pieces in there is this little piece right here. And I did do it, I finished mine in a little round paper mache box, lined it. So that was one piece out of here, out of this particular book. And then I do have to dig out my pieces. I did stitch Christmas Garden. And apparently I took it to, what fair did this come from? Oh, this was the state fair back in 2014. Yep. I did, wait a second, on this piece. And this was at the state fair. So here's my Christmas garden. I love this piece. So there's Christmas garden. Here's one of my favorite, I think I talked about this in my last, and I did post it on my Instagram. I don't know why I'm very attracted to this one, but this is one of my favorite pieces. Again, this one I believe is in a frame I found at a thrift store, thrift shop, and I stitched this in 2011, it looks like. So this one, this particular piece came out of this book. And there are a handful of, here's a picture of the back. And why this isn't in one of my project bags, I'm not sure, because I have lots of, wait till I show you my Blackbird. But I do have, I have it kitted up to stitch other projects. So that'll be on my agenda. I've gone to a retreat, and that was in 2010. So this piece is called Tulip House, and this was from a retreat. I believe this was Stitchville. It was all kitted up in this cute little. So Tulip House, this was the frame piece, and then there's this box. And I know I have that box, but it's probably underneath a pile of who knows what. Oh, I think I might have found it. Here it is right here. This was the, and I think I did stitch, here's the inside of it. So we stitched this little pillow, this little pin cushion, and then, I don't know if you can see this, there's some sampler fabric cross-stitched over some of the, I know it's probably hard to see, but anyway, so it's got some little, I got a little scissors in here. There's just little trinkets in here all together. Cute, cute, cute little box. One of my little faves. I think I've been to just 3 Blackbird retreats. I went to one at Stitchville here in the cities, where I live here. This was the Stitchville one back in 2010. That same year I went to Silver Needle. Silver Needle had a retreat that same year, and the Blackbird girls were there, and I went to that one, and I'm not sure which pieces came from that retreat. I don't know if it was another box, because I have this other box here. Well, I'll show you the front. So was this little box, and then on the inside, of course, there was some Blackbird fabric, and I got these little thread winders and put them in there. The little bird thread winders, how cute are they? To go with that, the Garden Club series. So my intention was to stitch all of these like they did, and then stitch them all separately, and there's 12 charts, and then sew them all together. So that's the first one. Here's number 2, and then see on the back how they are putting them together. Here's 3. 4. 5. And I know I've stitched like the first 2 of these. 6. And I can't find 7, but I do have 8. 9. And I have these 10. 11. 12. And as you can see, some of these, they made these into pillows on the back, but these 2 are stitched on 2 different fabrics and then put together. So some of the single ones to make up a square sewn together. Here's one of my Blackbird bags. This is Blackbird fabric from long ago. And then I have the sampler fabric in the inside. So almost all of my Blackbird projects have a Blackbird project bag. And if they don't, I have extra bags to put them in, just haven't done it. So there's one of my bags in a series of Blackbird to do. This is a 4th of July one, and I stitched a lot of these, but some of them are small. So this Land of Liberty is this book. And the reason I was going to drag this one out, or was dragging this one out, is I think this is Salute to Abigail. This was done in 2014. This was a Dying to Stitch club kit. I want to say Ladies Prim Society. Anyway, I did it before that. Before this Sweet Land of Liberty book came out, I had stitched this because, of course, I had the kit. So here's my, this frame I did order, and it's kind of a padded frame, or it's like faux leather feeling, kind of a padded frame. And I did enter this into the state fair and won a blue ribbon on that back in 2014. Love this piece. Love this piece. Always loved that piece. The Sweet Land of Liberty book, I think there's a couple other, here is another. So I have that one, which right here. I know I've stitched this one, and oh, yep, here it is. Let me just dig that bad boy out. So here's that particular pillow. And here's the back fabric. That will go on my cabinet here. Is all of my, so far, all of my 4th of July things. I don't know if they'll stay like that. So there's that, and then I also stitched this one. And so I think I've stitched 1, 2, 3, 4. What was the 5th one? Because I've stitched that, and I've stitched, no, this is the only one so far that I have not stitched out of this particular, sorry about the lighting. I haven't stitched that one, but I have stitched 4 out of 5 out of this particular book. Here's my version of this piece on this. Fun. I loved stitching all of these. I didn't realize how much Blackbird I do have, especially when I look at my smalls, because I have tons and tons of them. Anyway, enough of that. Let's carry on here. I know I have the books to these, but, or the patterns. This one got a 4th place in the state fair. I don't offhand know the name of this one. Again, this was framed in one of my thrift store finds. I think this one is, I want to say it's Sunflower House or Sunflower something. I have that one. This too was a frame. A lot of my frames I've lucked out and been able to make them work. Thrift store frames. And my next thing is I'd kind of like to learn how to modify bigger frames to fit, you know, because it's really hard to find frames that will exactly fit. But sometimes you can find a bigger frame, and my husband did cut down once in a while. He's too busy to doing other things right now. So I'd really kind of like to, I really need to look into trying to figure out how to do that myself. Here's another one of mine that is another favorite, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it, but this one is in a frame, and I mean, it just fits this way. And the Blackbird girls, when they did retreats and stuff, they always talked about how, you know, they would try to repurpose frames too, and if it came right to the edge, that was fine. It was just kind of the way it was. And I don't know, I'm not really bothered by that if it fits really tight. This Sewing Mends the Soul, again, when I go through my books, it's probably here. I just haven't. I really, really like this piece. I'm thinking that I want my sunroom to be my stitching room, my stitching place, and I want to hang up and put in there all of things that are just have needlework sayings or needlework. I mean, everything is needlework that I've done, but particular to sayings or things, you know, like with my needle and thread, and Sewing Mends the Soul. This piece here, I believe, is Thistle House, and these colors are a little different, and this came from my friend Jill, Purple Peacock on Instagram. She stitched this for me back in 2012. How cute is that? And I think these, I want to say these were the colors used, but don't quote me. Thistle Man, is this Thistle House or Thistle Manor? I'm not sure. And maybe I'll come across that pattern. This is a piece, I know it was done for a retreat, and I stitched, this is the model. Well, they got the model, but I restitched it for myself. I know it was for a retreat. I don't know which one. I didn't go to it, I just stitched the model. I did just a handful of model stitching for Blackbird back in the day. Not sure what the name of this one is either. I think it's an older Loose Feathers. Another really, love this one. When did I stitch it? 2011. This must have been a frame I ordered, I think, just based on how it looks. If I can't find something, you know, then I resort to ordering. This one, can't think of what this was 3 books. I know this was a hot item for a while. And I'm not sure if it was, I think it was reprinted, but again, don't quote me. And then this one, not sure of the name, of course. It's in a book somewhere in my mess of things here. This one I stitched, and I put my paternal grandmother's name in here, and then the year that she would have been 8 years old. So there's that piece. I think that might have covered all of my framed pieces that I'm aware of, that I have out. I will start talking about some of my smalls. Again, not sure of the name of this piece, but I know I have the book. If I would have been coordinated a little bit better, I would have tried to pull all the books, but if you could see, I have like two, or a big basket full of patterns. I have a couple of magazine holders full of patterns. And to go through all of that was a little daunting for me. So maybe as we go through, anyway, there's this little boy or girl. This was a club piece. It was made into a drum. I believe this is out in a pattern. Maybe it's in a book. I'll probably come across that too. Here's the top of that. I can't remember what the name of it was. Lady Liberty, maybe. Entered this in a 2015 fair, state fair, and won a ribbon on that. So that'll have to go on my patriotic case. This is another piece. Not sure. You people are probably all screaming at me on the names of these. Sorry, just don't know them. See, here's one of my magazine holders with books in them. This was also a club piece. So it looks like this on the one side. Looks like this on the other. And this was made into a little bag. That was a club piece. This at one time was, I want to say this is Bittersweet Moon, but I could be wrong on the name. But I believe it was a club piece. That is some Blackbird Designs backing fabric. This is another cute, cute, cute one. This was in, I think it was Just Cross Stitch magazine. Was it Just Cross? It was in a magazine. Not sure of the name of the magazine. Land of the Free. I put it in, I found this box at some thrift store. And then I think these were done in Classic Colorworks, but I made my own conversion because I didn't have all of the threads. So there's that. This is in a book. This one, I'm trying to get without glare. Good luck. In this box, this was a bear to paint, not gonna lie. I did this one, I put my dad's initials in there and the year he was born in here. It's just a cute, some more Blackbird Design fabric. My dad died when I was very, very young. I was 6 when he passed away. So, I don't know, I just thought it was a cute little tribute to him. So, there's that. In a book somewhere. I'm so sorry I don't know the names of all these patterns. Some more Blackbird. I have tons of Blackbird Design fabric. Some of these, I don't know, this probably was not the color it was done in, but I chose to do it in. And there's the back of that. And this was in, I know this is in a book. This, not Blackbird Design fabric. Shocking. I know this is probably, I think this is one I stitched, but I thought I got one as a gift. See, this is something I would put in my stitching room. needles and pins. Another little, another one, shocking, not Blackbird Design fabric on the back. This little pillow on the back. This one I did see the pattern not too long ago. This was from a few years back, 2016. Kind of hard when you don't know the names, isn't it? But they came out of different books. Or some of them were, like I said, reward of merit pieces. I think this was a retreat piece. Done in a paper mache box. They always had such cool ideas for finishing. This I know is a reward of merit piece. This, and this is a little like bag. And so there was this and this little pin cushion that went with it. Not sure why I didn't use Blackbird Designs fabric for this fabric. Here's another paper mache box that I painted and lined. This is a book, I know this is Cats on Parade, I'm pretty sure this one is called that. I'm not really the Halloweenish type, but I am a kitty. And I just thought it was kind of cool, probably because it was made into a drum. This piece here is another one of my faves. I'll have to see if I can find it, but I love this one. I don't know, I was trying to put it upright so everything eventually got upright. And that was some Blackbird Designs fabric. I don't know why, but I was strangely attracted to this one. This might have been went with this one. It's a little, this might have been the retreat one. This is the inside. My little kitty is kind of crying here. And there's the outside of that one. I'm thinking this was the Silver Needle Retreat piece one, if I can remember correctly, but probably not so much. This is another cool one. Again, I think I'm attracted to it because it was kind of a drum before drums were really popular. And then here's the sampler fabric I had. This I think has like batting or wool roving that went just around like that. I don't know if you guys remember my little kitty. This is off subject. This is our little kitty from last year when she was a little kitty. She was just a little kitten that showed up in our backyard, and she was only like 6 weeks old or 4 or 6 weeks old. I don't know how she even got here. And she only weighed about a pound. She's not a pound anymore. She's not a real big kitty, but so this is Lucy, otherwise known as Lucifer sometimes, because any of my wool stuff she absconds with. We also call her Shitten, because she is. She's our little baby. So she was, I don't know how she ended up, anyway, that's off subject. Button box. This is another, I don't know, I like doing things that are a little bit different. I'm not even sure how, oh, yeah, I lined, no buttons in there though. Uh-oh, I hear my husband downstairs. I try to do this when he's out of the house so it's quiet. And I don't have mail-in right now. She's at her auntie's, and so that's why I was doing this. Here, this was another club piece. And that one has some Blackbird Design fabric on the back. So that's another small. There's this little guy. And then I did another paper mache box. Ooh, this one doesn't want to come apart. Okay, not going to open that one. Sarah Tobias, I know this is a book. There's that. This is in their stocking book. I just finished this one just very, very, very recently. Not Blackbird Design on the back fabric. So I just finished this. I know this came out of the little book, Deck the Halls, and they're all little strawberries. So, and I think there's 6 of them. I only have this one done. And then I decided to get crazy, and I've made some strawberries out of some of the Blackbird Designs sampler fabric. So this is one that I made. Here's another one. And last but not least, I did a little. So that's done out of, them are just strawberries. So sewing Mends My Soul, or Mends the Soul. So that is out of this book here. I'm gonna have to stitch this one. Oh, how can I get it so you can see it? Because it's in a box. I've wanted to do like, take a book like this and then do every project in it. It hasn't happened yet, but there's still time. So now I'll show you, here's a couple of my bags I haven't gotten anything in yet, but these are my latest, these were my latest releases. Doing a little plug for my Etsy shop, project bags made by Mama Joan on Etsy. So these 2 are my latest releases, and I've been trying to, when I make a bag, I make one for myself out of each of the collections. I'm not sure why, because I can, I guess. And this is a really, really old collection, and it's this sampler fabric, and so I made myself a bag out of that. I just made that, and then because I made a strawberry. I'm trying to get the right light. It's just not happening for me. But I made that out of that fabric, so matching fabric. I also made a little tomato pin cushion out of that sampler fabric. And see these little wool tops? Yeah, that's what my cat goes wild for, is this wool, and she'll abscond with my goodies. I made a project, I don't know what you call it, project bag. And project, it's just for carrying your projects, like to, so this is out of Blackbird. Well, this inside fabric is in Blackbird, but this outside fabric was, let's see, let's go this way because that's how it is. So I made this project bag carrier thing for carrying my projects that are done to the quilts, or to the, like if I have to get them framed. Have I used it much? No, why not? I'm not sure, because I didn't think of it. I haven't thought of it. Okay, so I think now what I'm going to do is I'll go through some of the projects that I have either started, that are club kits, patterns that I have kitted up that are in some of my project bags. So here's the first one. Haven't stitched this one yet. I gotta get on that. And then there's this one. And I believe that some of these now are in a book. And I probably have the book. I've had this since 2014. I need to get on it. Bittersweet Lane. I think it does go with that other one, that Bittersweet. I think it was called Bittersweet House. And the last one in this bag is, I've seen this done a couple of times recently, or at least once on Insta. So there's 4 neglected club kits. I know this one's out on, in a book, but this was a club kit too. And I did start this one. This one is in Blackbird Design fabric. This is one of those, whoops, dang it, I wish I could get that straight. Reward of Merit. Here's another Reward of Merit. These are going to have to find their own little bag to go into so that they get stitched. These are more recent books, like 2019. Oh, here's the Winds of Autumn. Big Bird one is in this book. Here's a kit I bought from Quilter Station, I believe. I happened to be there and they were selling these as kits. As you can see, got right on it. This book here, if you really want to do this, I liked it so much I bought it twice. But you hate when that happens. See, these are my more recent acquired books. Some of these not so recently acquired. I even have the box for either doing this one or the B one. I couldn't find. I've seen this one done up. I'd really like to stitch this one, and really like to stitch this one. Got the fabric for it. There. I thought this one was cute. Some of these I've had for a while. I did this for somebody's birthday. Can't remember who now. But I did stitch this one. Gave it as a birthday gift. Another Christmas one. I need to stitch that. I need to put that with my other Christmas one. I'm trying to get organized in my old age. It's not going very well. I want to say this was some series, but I'm not sure. I've really been wanting to stitch that one. Not sure why I have this, because again, I'm not really hot on Halloween, but it's Blackbird. This was through the Facebook group, Homespun. This pillow, I really need to do this. Make it into this little mattress. And here's my Blackbird my Blackbird. What is the name of that Facebook group? I guess I don't have that right. This was in the, this is the one I stitched. And it was in that quilt book. Well, now it's in this Ooh La La book. So I guess I do have one of the things that are in this book. Oh, I wonder where this, I did stitch this one. I did stitch this one. But I'm not sure where it is. Here's my little Blackbird fabric bag of this one. This was another Blackbird bag. This one was a little bit, this is just a 10 by 10 bag, so it I have these books in there. And that one, oh, I have that one. I'm not sure why Easter Parade is with the Trick or Treat ones. I might have to rectify that. I also have this stitched, but you know what? It's put away in my Easter. See, I told you I had some that probably weren't out here. This is a current one. I'm not sure I'm going to live long enough to stitch all of these things. Here's another one. Oh, I gotta show you my bag. And this has got sampler fabric in the middle too, or in the inside. This was another bag that this one I don't know, I made. So here's the outside, but I decided to put a house in there. So I took Blackbird Design fabric and made a house. It's kind of a, oh, and that's got this one's in there. These are kind of special order bags. I guess if you have an interest in one, you can message me. And I may be able to make one not exactly like that, but with a house with Blackbird fabric. This was another bag I released at one point. And here, Oh Joyous Day is in there. Here's the book I was talking about of the little strawberry Deck the Halls. That was this little strawberry here. Came out of this book. And here's my Blackbird Designs fabric. This right here. This little box came out of the Bells on Christmas Day. And I think that is the only thing so far that I have stitched out of this book. Here's my Blackbird Designs fabric. For that one. This one I started. Oh, here's my bag. It's another sampler bag. Merrily, merrily we welcome spring. Okay, I started this one, and I think I got a fair, I did get a fair amount started. I don't know how well you can see that. Let's do this. Maybe. I don't know if that's any better. But I did get just once the square around the perimeter of it. It's kind of hard to see. Oh, and it's very wrinkly. That one I should leave out and start working on it again, because I have everything here for it. There's some more sampler fabric. This was a retreat piece of the last retreat I was at. I haven't even started it. here's my little bag for that. And then just here's a little bag that I could put some of I've done little projects I just put in a bigger bag. I'll have to put it, oops, in this one. So I'll have to leave that. I told you I had bags that don't have things in them yet. This was a set. I made myself a set out of this fabric. So I made myself a scissor sitter and a couple different sized bags. I did a Donna Ray style. That's what I call them. They're just a vertical. And then I did my accessory bag and another like a medium sized bag. So these will hold them half, you know, like these patterns. But I thought I'd make me a set. Here are just some, it's another, I did this bag and a different inside, I think. These are just some of my bags that I've made out of different Blackbird fabric that I've had. Up in here, Our Lasting Friendship. I've got this book, have not stitched it yet. And here's the bag I have for that. Okay, so that is my basket of kitted projects. Now I'll talk about a little bit some more of the books I have. Home for the Holidays. This one has Christmas Garden in it. This was, you know, came out after the Christmas Garden was out of print. I believe they re-released it. There's that one and 'Tis the Season. I did stitch this one too, but see, that's in my Christmas stuff. So there's that. A Stitcher's Journey. This one I'm trying to remember. Oh, I've stitched this one too. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. This was a retreat piece. I think. I don't think that's the one I had stitched. Here's the retreat piece. Oops, sorry, there's loudness going on downstairs. Here's Tulip House. So that is in the Stitcher's Journey book. These retreat pieces that were, well, they were retreat pieces and now they're in a book. That little pillow right here, this pillow right here came out of this book. And I don't think there was anything else I stitched in that, out of that book. There's some I want to stitch in this book that I have stuff in it for, and I haven't stitched anything. What I want to stitch is this piece right here. I think that is really cool. Maybe for next Valentine's Day. I think that's what this piece of fabric is for. It needs to find a bag. Here's the threads for it. And there's this one. I believe I have the box for this one. Haven't stitched it. But maybe I should stitch some of them anyway. I don't think I've done any of these. What is the name of this? Maria Selby Humphrey, 1831. Oh, yeah. Here's that. I believe that's it. It's a different one because it looks like this. I mean, it's finished like this, but it's a different one. Never mind. Sometimes I buy these because it's Blackbird. And because, you know, if you don't, you'll be sorry. Joyce Noel. This one was in this book too. This book came out a long time ago, I believe. Oh, I think I did this one too. Or I wanted to. They're all running together, folks. Some of these books I bought when I really wasn't even into Blackbird very much. Kind of frightening, is it? This was one of them. This book this is probably one of the very first books I bought. There's some cool. I can't even tell you how long ago I bought this book. Ages ago. Probably 20 years ago. This was another one that was from a long time ago. This one right here is one, that was this one I told you I did and put my grandma's name, my paternal grandma. That's in this Marianne Blackburn. It's in this book. And I think that's the only one I've done. I've got stuff in here to do some other ones. Sisters. I think this one was just re-released recently. I'm not even sure I've stitched anything out of this one. That's awful. But I do want to. Sarah's House. And I think I want to stitch this one. Honeysuckle Manor. That's where the round, that one is called Summer House Pincushion. That was that big round pincushion right here that I showed you. I just did mine in different colors. Yeah, I did mine in greens and browns. So I did stitch something. Oh, I stitched this too. Wonder where that is. Let's see. There we go. I know I stitched that one and did that with it. Finished it that way. Wonder where it is. Maybe I'll unearth it. This is another oldie but goodie. Is that one in there? There's that one in there. Forget me not. This is probably tucked away in my Easter stuff. I have the box to do this one too. I haven't done it yet. There's another one. I wonder how this one snuck in there. This was the one that I told you was done in the box. The other one in a box, this one, I've done this one. Give thanks. There's that. I have this oldie but goodie I sure want to stitch. Go with my patriotic stuff. I have both of these birth samplers. Never done one of those. Probably should. American Star. Flowers of the Field. That was the one I showed you. That was this one here. Oh, sorry for the loudness downstairs. I'm upstairs and it echoes right up the steps. Another one of them patriotic ones. New Love. Oh, this is gonna have to be a Valentine one. Bittersweet Moon. These are really kind of oldies but goodies. Sampler House, definite, gotta do it. Happy Birthday. Sweetheart Sampler. Do this one in red. Make it a Valentine. Liberty House. Mother's Honor Due. Oh, here it is. Mildred Sampler. This looks like the one Jill did. But it's all done in one color here. I must have spoken out of turn when I said it was done in the... Because I think that's it. So here's Jill's version of this. Okay, I think I've gotten through them all. It's a miracle. I feel like I've got some more. Maybe there's 2 more right here. 2 or 3 more. The Sewing Club. I just finished this one. I'm waiting for a frame. And my next one I want to do this one because I have the box. And then Souvenir Summer. And I got this back in the day, like 100 years ago. There's the back. So, there was my Blackbird stash. Books. I think it's most of everything I have. Like I said, sometimes I didn't think I had, no kitty, I didn't think I had as much as I do. If you've hung on this long, thanks for hanging on and listening to me go on about my stitching and my Blackbird collection. I hope everybody has a good week. You can follow me on Instagram at Made by Mama Joan. Check out my shop on Etsy, Made by Mama Joan. Facebook, which usually is just the stuff I post on Instagram, goes on Facebook at Made by Mama Joan. And I don't know, I'm going to try to work on another release, and I think it'll be a Blackbird one. First place you'll see it is on Instagram if I do any releases. So yeah, catch me there. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye.